Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Light Council series, the show where we have enlightened conversations to help awaken the light within and elevate the world. I am so excited to have my guest here, Dr. Joy, today. But first, before I get to introduce her, if you don't know me, I'm 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐿𝐴𝐶, and I am a soul purpose activator, soul gift activator, spiritual mentor, and healer, and also the creator of the Purpose and Abundance Activator Method, which helps dissolve your blocks and limitations to help calibrate your frequency to your next level purpose and abundance that you are meant for. And I'm so excited about our topic today because this is really going to tie in with what we're going to talk about. But for those of you that are watching, Dr. Joy will have a free gift at the end for you all. And I think she actually has a couple of them. So make sure to stay on and listen for what those are. And if you would like access to the catalog of all of my past guests' freebies, you can get access to that by booking a free consultation with me. The link for that will be in the show notes below. And then once we meet, you will get access to that catalog of free gifts, which is worth well over $1,000. So make sure you go on and do that. So, without further ado, Dr. Joy, welcome so much. Please share with everyone who you are, what you do, and how you love to serve the world.
Well, first of all, Elizabeth, it's nice to meet you and thank you for inviting me to share this time with you. And I love speaking with anyone that's stepping into their calling. So
Mm.
I really appreciate what you're doing because you're here in service and that makes a difference to the audience that you're meant to help. So I'm
Thank
thrilled to be
you.
here. And my name is, as you said, it's Dr. Joy Pedersen. I'm a spiritual healer, coach, author, and divine channel. And I've been working for decades in both the business community as well as the consumer community in helping individuals align with their highest purpose, clear blocks, barriers, patterns, and issues that are blocking anybody from being more confident, living in their purpose, having peace and abundance for what they're here to accomplish.
So it sounds like we do very similar things, which I love so much. And, here at the Light Council, we all are about collaboration, right? And, I remember when I was first doing this, like getting into my soul purpose, like trying to figure out what it was. And I was first developing my psychic abilities. And I remember saying to this very first training I took, like, who's gonna hire me? Like, who's gonna want to listen to me? Like, I'm brand new, and there's so many other psychics out there, right, that are so much better than me. And what she said to me really, like, honestly changed my perspective, and I keep this with me all the time. Is there are at the time, this was over 5 years ago now, there's over 7 billion people in this world. I'm one person. I can't help all 7 billion people. So every single one of us, every light worker, service healer, whatever you do, right, is needed, right? And there's a person for you to help at every level. And so while at the time I was a newbie, there's those people that I'm here to help. And the people that maybe have been in it for 10 years, they have their level of people to help. So you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if people do the same sort of thing, especially like we bring our own energy, right? Our own unique gifts, our own unique
Abs-
abilities, and we're going to resonate with different people. And so I love that we can come together and it's like, oh, yay, it's someone else that like does this important work.
Yes, and I would agree with you that we all vibrate differently. We all have a different resonance coding. The work that we're meant to deliver, the way in which we deliver it can be very different. And sometimes people have the opportunity of when they go to different healers and teachers is they get another nugget.
Mm-hmm.
It's all on their ladder of ascension that really supports them in their growth. And sometimes people meet because they need inspiration from one, they can hear it from somebody else a little bit better. Someone else has karma that they need to work out with them. And I think people don't understand that piece enough too, is sometimes certain individuals can clear certain aspects of karma that may be relative to them
Mm-hmm.
or their assignments are different.
Yeah.
So my assignment and my audience may be different than your assignment and audience. We may be talking general subjects, but maybe differently.
Yeah, yeah, I love that so much. It makes so much sense. And so, right before we got on this call, we were talking about a really important topic, which I kind of want to just jump right into.
Sure.
And I talk about this a lot through my work with, and obviously having my method, the purpose and abundance activator, right? Is helping you step into your purpose so you can also activate your abundance that you are meant for, meaning you're doing your work that you're meant here to do while also being compensated and being able to support yourself and live this full life financially, not, abundantly, however you want to look at it. And I know you agree with me on this. So let's get right into this. What is your take on this terms of light work, service provider work, healer work, right? And how we should be paid or how we should be compensated for that work?
Well, in one way, I've heard this, that if you have a gift from God, you shouldn't be charging for it.
Mm-hmm.
And my perspective is that everyone comes from God. Every gift that everyone has is from God. What makes an accountant have more value than someone that
Mm.
is healing someone?
Yes.
So actually, I work directly for God, and God has told me that it's time for healers and light workers to be paid what they're worth and not to be treated as if they were subservient to anyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that so much. I mean, that's such a beautiful point. Just because an accountant is not quote unquote, people don't look at it as from God, but really, like you said, any skill that we have, this ability that we have, does come from God, source, universe, whatever you resonate with, right? And I love that you said, like, I, work with God and I work for God, and it just kind of reminds me of a story of my young daughter, and this was a couple years ago. And she told my neighbors, my mom works for God. And I thought to myself, oh, that's so sweet, like I'm so happy that that's what she thinks. Like that's how she looks at me as. And my neighbors laughed. They thought it was hilarious. Like that was a joke. And I was like,
Mm.
but I do. Like I do, work for God. Like it's not a joke. And I just remember that feeling of being like, not everyone's going to understand it. And so, it comes to this point of how do we get louder or more clear about how our work is really important?
Well, that brings up another point because I do a lot of past life work and I have a lot of clients also that come to me with big callings or just want to be more self-expressed or they have a purpose that they want to deliver to the world. They want to write, they want to speak, they want to coach, whatever they're wanting to do. Even they could be massage therapists wanting to help more in that realm.
Hmm.
And inevitably, when I've been doing the past life readings on them in order to find out what I needed to clear for them, it was past lives where many of us have been silenced. We've been
Hmm.
punished for our gifts. We've been burned at the stake. Persecution was so common in past lives, and those of us who have been persecuted suffer those memories in our subconscious. And what our subconscious then does is want to keep us safe.
Hmm.
So they cause procrastination, distraction, they're always busy, or they feel unworthy. They don't, why me?
Hmm.
And they also limit their income.
Hmm.
So, if they step up to the next level of visibility, oh my God, am I going to be safe? So they play small. So when we
Hmm.
clear those past life influences, they're set free and they can fully self-express so they can do the work that's necessary now because light workers need to come together. It's nice in a community, but in general to step into what they're here for so they can make the difference that is necessary to bring this world to a higher vibration, bring more clarity, abundance, peace, and love for all, versus what's being demonstrated now with ego and greed and old world tactics, things that are falling apart because they need to be dismantled. But at the same time, the old world is falling apart so the new world can be built.
Yep.
Those of us that are here to build the new world, to build new earth, need to be stepping into our truth, our power, our gifts, have our visibility and our voice used, even if you're only meant to serve a dozen people.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter because you're here for a purpose. And then if you're not going to be serving your purpose, you're not contributing in the way you're meant to. And you also need to be paid for what you're worth. Your time is valuable, the gifts are valuable, the difference you're making in the world is valuable.
Yep.
So unless you get out of your way, which I mean, I had to do it myself. Archangel Michael came to me decades ago asking me to write his book, Wisdom of the Guardian, and join him in a healing practice. I was
Mm.
channeling for about a decade before he came along, and writing the book was easy, and then I did nothing with it.
Mm.
And then I said one day, I said, Michael, I don't think you gave this book just for me. I need to do
Yeah.
something with it.
Yeah.
So I sat down and I did my own past life clearing. And there were like 8 lifetimes of persecution that I had to clear in order to get the book published. Then I had
Mm.
to clear about 8 more lifetimes and circumstances that included persecution and then also being public or different dynamics where I wasn't accepted. And when I cleared those, I then had a voice and then I could speak because I didn't want to tell anybody I could channel angels.
Yeah.
And I was at the time I was running a business network. So, to tell mostly a group of men, I'm
Right.
going to change my focus. I'm talking to angels and I'm going to do
Yeah.
this.
They'll be like, what?
I thought everybody was going to go away. And there was 3 older businessmen that hired me immediately, and I was floored
Wow.
because we're also given the impression that only women are open.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the case. I mean,
Yeah.
and I've had a mixed clientele ever since, and a lot of business owners. And that's actually why I ended up serving business owners. When you can channel the divine, you can get information for how to run a business as well as, what you need to do as far as your relationships or money or whatever. So it really didn't matter. But what was nice is those people got help and because they were open to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's so powerful. So like for someone that is doing this work and healing and all, or whatever light work they're doing or service provider work or anything that they're trying to make a difference in this world, like what would you suggest, or how would they start to find what is it actually the amount they should be charging compared to what they are? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they go inward or, ask the divine, like, am I undercharging? Or what is the level of income that I deserve to be paid in where I'm at? Because really we have to build that capacity, right? We have to expand our capacity to hold and receive where we're at and build that ladder of belief because it could be very challenging for someone that maybe I'm just giving like very blanket numbers, right? That's charging like $100 a session, and then all of a sudden decide, well, now I'm going to charge $1,000 a session. Like that's really hard for someone on their nervous
Right.
system and all the things, right? So like, how would you suggest someone starts to like really dive in and discover this is actually what you should be charging and this is what your worth is and all that? You get what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. I work with Michael and God all the time on just my marketing, my positioning, what I'm offering, how I'm offering it, and what I'm charging. So it's always the operative term that is more appropriate now with New Earth than before is alignment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not alignment with what is everybody else charging.
Yeah.
It's what is in alignment with your path, your gifts, your vibration, where source wants you to be, what you're meant to embrace, teach,
Mm-hmm.
develop, serve. All of that needs to be in alignment. Now, the meditating, channeling, asking, going within, feeling what's comfortable, You can start off with, say, if everybody charging is $100 because you've researched that to
Right.
keep in your framework. And then you can go in and go, does that feel comfortable? Does my body tighten? Does it open up? Do I feel comfortable with that? Then you can ask in meditation. You can use a pendulum if that's a tool or um, muscle testing and go,
Mm-hmm.
okay, is $100 appropriate? Is it for my highest and best good? Feel the answer. Work with that. Also, as you go forward, then it's also seeing the results and then knowing, gee, is it that I'm not getting enough business? Is it because my money set point is $90 and not 100, so I can't get the 100? Or is it something else? Are the
Mm-hmm.
people not ready for me yet? Am I out of alignment somewhere else? Do I have subconscious blocks? And then that's going within and doing that yourself.
Yeah.
Or if that doesn't give you the direct answers, it's going to somebody like yourself or me that can help give the clarity and ask what's appropriate
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
why am I not getting the results that I need.
Right. And it could be too that you're if you're not getting the clients at the level that you're at where you're charging, it could just be that you are in fact charging too little. I mean, how many times have you heard that like I upped my prices and I actually started booking clients because the way you see yourself and value yourself is the same way that other people see your value and like can really grasp onto that. And maybe you're attracting the wrong type of clients or the people that aren't really meant for you because of the fees that you're charging. And like, yeah, I use muscle testing all the time. Like if I'm like trying to decide on a price or a setting for my investments of what I'm charging is I use my body all the time for muscle testing. So that's like my favorite technique. I mean, at first I quiet my mind and ask, and then I kind of do a confirmation with the muscle testing.
That's great because and it doesn't mean that everything has to be hard and fast because you can change things
Yeah.
later. I'm in a stage of God's changing my whole offerings to simplify, use my
Hmm.
energy better, serve more people, and he tells me exactly what to charge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I mean, it really is, can be difficult, right? Because it's such a broad range sometimes of what everyone is doing.
Mhm.
But like, what would you say to someone that feels guilty about charging for their work?
That's something to release for sure because guilt
Hmm.
doesn't serve anything. It's a signal that there's something within to clear, but feeling guilty it really doesn't serve because you're here in service. You deserve to be paid. Your time, your energy is valuable. And those who don't want to pay, it's a story more about them
Hmm.
and their subconscious mindset
Hmm.
versus where somebody has to bend in order to try to meet where people are at. And it's not the job of the business owner to meet everybody where they're at. Their purpose is to be in alignment with what they're here for, what they're supposed to be offering, and do what's appropriate to stay in alignment with what they're offering, how they're offering it. It's up to everyone they're supposed to meet for them to be able to become a match to their vibration, not that that owner has to be a match to everyone that's out there that needs help because
Yeah.
everybody needs help on one level or another.
Yeah.
But if you're deciding for yourself that, oh, this one has a sob story, they can't afford something, they have a challenge, it's not for you to fix everyone. It's not for you to meet
Hmm.
the audience where they're at. It's for that audience to rise up, to value you
Yeah.
and meet you. And if they're having a challenge meeting you where you're at, it's not for
Hmm.
you to bend to them. It's for them to do their own work in order to be able to be served in that way from you. And it's, I've seen it, I've done it in my own practice early on, making exceptions for people.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because of alignment being the key word these days,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm I'm guided to let clients go if they're not in alignment with where we need to go, who I need
Yeah.
to be at this time. I can't I can't afford to have someone else's issues about worth and value placed on me, and it's not healthy for me to buy into their challenges. Part of the challenge that a lot of light workers, healers, coaches may do in those circumstances, they open up to the compassion that will help, that would they want to help that individual. They understand those challenges. What that does is it takes on energy from that individual and lowers theirs.
Mm.
So they're lowering their vibration by becoming porous to someone else's challenges. And
Yeah.
if you're in a service position, you want to be strong so you can serve at the highest level. And that's a tough transition for me to go through because I felt compassionate for everyone. I wanted to
Yeah.
help everyone. I've done world work for many years, and even when there's challenges in the world, God will say, that is not for me to do at this time.
Yeah.
That's in
Yeah.
somebody else's area, or that's their lesson.
Yeah.
It's not for me to fix everything and everybody because I have the ability.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple thoughts, about this for me. Like really is um we were given these gifts for a reason, 100%. We were given this calling for a reason, this purpose. And for us to be able to do our work most like full time as much as possible to help as many people as possible, we also do need to bring in money right now because that's just the way the world works at this very moment in time, right? And so if we're going to continue to do this important work, yes, we deserve to also be compensated so we can literally also live, right? So there's so much there just to even like leave it at that, right? And then also like just knowing your self-worth, right? It's like knowing your self-worth that you are worthy of receiving for your gifts and in giving to others. And and finally the last thing I will say about this is like priorities. If there's a will, there's a way. If the person truly values your work and knows what it is, like how powerful your work is, they will find a way to be able to afford your services, right? And even I mean, I don't know about you, but I offer payment plans. I offer, financing through the different, now there's so many different ways for people to be able to get in with to work with me for say per instance, right? Through these financing companies and all these things, because priorities, right? Like, is it a priority for them to do their healing work, to do their inner work, to do their expansion work? Or are they spending their money over here that is, then that's their priority. That's really what it is.
Mhm.
So I really think this was an important topic to bring up, but I just, want to shift really quickly into another important topic that is so dear to you is talking about, becoming an ascended master. So like stepping into this soul purpose. So I would love for you just to share your thoughts on that.
Well, first of all, everyone is ascending. They
Yeah.
might be at different levels, and it's not about a race. It's not about comparing yourself to somebody else. The whole
Mm-hmm.
world is ascending. If they don't do it in the same week, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
No one's getting left behind. And that I think is important because there's a lot of fear that's being communicated that says somebody can be left behind if you don't do it this way.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I'll just say my husband is an a ex Jehovah Witness, so that's like case in point.
Well, here's something that I'm just coming out on my blog this week. Um, I had a Jewish woman who was talking about her friend believes, being Christian, that if you can follow Jesus, that's the only way you're going to get to heaven.
Hmm.
Same topic, but it's not so, it is still about ascending.
Right.
And I said to Yeshua afterwards, I go, so you're Jewish, right? And he said, yes. I've always been Jewish. My entire family was Jewish. My
Yeah.
traditions were Jewish. And the whole point was that no one's being left behind. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be a certain religion. You don't have to follow certain practices. And God even says it's really about you're all welcome home to me. You come from me, you come back to me. The journey in between is a whole varying ride for everyone. And it's about the individual doing what it takes for them to ascend by letting
Mm-hmm.
go of the things that are distortions, the negative memories, that karma, all
Mm-hmm.
that past life nonsense that I mentioned that can wreak havoc on people's lives. It's choosing love over fear
Mm-hmm.
and staying in your center versus giving your power away to the news and anybody else that's crying wolf or
Yep.
expressing something that's a challenge. God will and your guides will help you through every challenge, and nothing is by accident. You may have
Mm-hmm.
attracted it for reasons of a lesson,
Yes.
but there is a way out and a way over every obstacle. But it's always about going within, choosing peace, choosing love, letting go, forgiving. That's
Mm-hmm.
how people ascend. It's not buying into the fear. It's not buying into lack. It's not buying
Yeah.
into limitation.
Yeah, and this brings up two like important points of like capacity again, of there is no capacity or cap on the number of people that can ascend, right? Like there's more like there's no limit, right? And the same thing with abundance. There is no
Right.
limitation on abundance. So if you want to be an abundant being, you can be as abundant as you want. It's not a pie that everyone has to share. There literally is no limit to either. So it's really of how can we support one another to ascend and be the most abundant being that you can, because if I have more, that does not mean that you don't have more. In my own mind, if I have more or if I ascend higher, then I get to help others, ascend higher as well and also have more as well because I can give more, right? It's like
Exactly.
so they so go hand in hand in my mind. So I think that's such a beautiful awareness and point that you just brought up.
Yeah, it's all about an inside job, and everyone's abundance is really about them, their
Mm-hmm.
circumstances, and it's not just outer circumstances, it's the inner circumstances that create the outer circumstances.
Yeah.
So it's always an inside job.
I
And
love that.
whatever clarity somebody needs, whatever help somebody needs, it's all access from within your own heart, not necessarily on the internet or anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. So I would love for you to share, how do you work with people? How can people work with you? And I would love for you to share about your free gifts, and also how people can find you or get in touch with you.
Well, thank you for asking. So I have basically, well, I have several different methods of working with me. It's all over the phone or Zoom, depending on if you're an international client or
Mm-hmm.
not. Um, I have a Sacred Circle membership once a month where I'm training what God gives me basically the day before in a healing that's personal to the group dynamics. And we have a Q&A, so it's a supportive environment for people to get their answers for whatever's concerning them at the time. Private
Mm-hmm.
sessions. And then I also have, for business owners, I do weekly sessions if they want to work regularly on basically it's really their business, their lives, anything that's going to help with their own expansion and clarity and ascension. And then this is where Source just gave me a new uh, offering, basically, is because my sessions I work with God directly. Um, it's a new way where people can submit a question, get clarity, get healing directly from Source without having to book an appointment. And
Mm-hmm.
then they just submit the question, the pattern, the circumstance they want addressed. And I sit with God and I get the answer, I get the clearing. Actually, God does the clearing.
Yeah.
I'm just facilitating and then
Hmm.
respond to them with whatever answer that God wants to deliver. And so that's pretty much how people can work with me.
Hmm.
The gifts that I have two. I have actually three. Gifts from joy.com is my general spiritual bundle, but I have two new ones that spoke to the conversations that we had today about ascending. So, how to become an ascended master, people can get at ascend.expresssuccess.net. And there's another one on breaking the silence spell to reclaim your voice, visibility, and abundance. And that people can reach at tinyurl.com/silence spell.
Beautiful. And we'll share those links definitely in the description below. I'm definitely going to check those out myself just because it sounds amazing. And I'm sure there's stuff that I still need to clear from my past lives of being silenced and all the things as well. So if I would love for you to share if you had one final piece of advice or wisdom that you would want to share with the collective, I would love to invite you to share that now.
I will add one more link, talkwithjoy.com, if somebody
Yeah.
wants a conversation. But um, everyone is here at this time for a reason. Trust that. Trust that who they are is important enough, valuable enough, and meaningful enough to what needs to occur next. And it's only about the next step.
I love that. Thank you so much for being here. I've so enjoyed this really important conversation. I just really appreciate your time and your energy. So thank you again for being here.
Well, thank you for having me, and I hope your audience found value in a way to find more peace and clarity going forward.
Definitely. So thank you again, and I'm sure they will. But make sure you check out the links below, get the free gifts from Dr. Joy, and go ahead and book a call with her or myself. We are here for you. We are here to support you. And we hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day, year, week, all the things. And we will see you next time on the Light Council.